It's Bruce Hill, and I make sales simple. That's it. So for all of 2025, that's the only thing I'm talking about. And my goal is to add so much value for free. I hope that we can work together in the future. So driving revenue, right? Increasing revenue, improving customer retention through personal and professional development. That's how. What do we do? We make sales simple. How do we do it? Through personal and professional development with the emphasis in sales skills. So I'm going to teach you an exercise I did with a speaker just yesterday. It's called What, Why, and How. What, Why, and How. And this is a little different. I think a lot of people start with how. Hey, what do you do? Right? Oh, I'm an author, speaker, coach. Right? And that's an important distinction to make, but I don't believe it's the first thing to mention. Then there's a great book by Simon Sinek. Don't start with why. And I nothing against the book. Why is what keeps us going, but what is how we get the conversation started. So this isn't from a philosophical standpoint. This is how we're starting conversations, whether it's person to person, whether we're creating a video like this one, whether you're doing a coaching session. Oh, or my personal favorite, when you're having a conversation with a potential client, with a future client, having a clear what you do is going to pique their interest. It's going to get the conversation started. And then we talk about why you do it. Then we talk about how you do it. So let me walk you through the exercise. This is super simple, but I found simple is always super effective. What you do should have a clear transformation. You can see the effective communication video for more on that. Right? It should have a clear outcome, direction, or purpose. So for me, I make sales simple. I talked to shout out to Tom Wilner who did this exercise with me more recently. I said, "What do you do?" He said, "Well, I do a lot of things." He's like, "Man, I play the piano." He was like, "I run. I teach other people how to run." He's like, "I sing. I write musicals. I'm a speaker." I said, "Those are all how, and I want you to keep doing those things. But the reason you feel confused is you're mixing up how you do things with what you do." And I really appreciate he was open to coaching. He was coachable. I'll post his testimony here, after this video. So I said, well, what is it that happens to your audience, right? The person you're talking to, the people you're talking to, after they spend some time with you. And he thought about it, right? You get that look. He said, you know what, Bruce? Is I want to teach them to go from surviving to thriving. I said, well, that's good. Write that down. And he writes it down, and you see his wheels start to turn. I said, well, Tom, why is that important to you? Why is that significant to you? Why do you pick that topic? He's like, well, he's like, it started when I found out I had cancer. Whoa, that's a compelling reason, right? I said, well, what happened when you found out? He said, man, how I looked at time changed. And I asked myself some tough questions about what I was doing with my life. That's why, right there it is. That's why this is more than just a hot topic or buzzwords for me. It's changed how I live my life. I said, man, that's good. And then at that point, I said, we got to record this, man. And so now we know what we do, right? We go from surviving to thriving. Why do you do it, man? He had a life changing event. Now, really excited that the next year he'll be 6 years cancer free. And then I said, well, Tom, how do you do that? He said, it depends on where I'm at. That's the correct answer. I never want you to get stuck doing everything the same way. As you grow and evolve, your process will grow and evolve. So for him, he runs with his family. That's important about staying healthy and staying connected. He loves creating music, connecting people with music. Top tier speaker. I actually met him at the National Speakers Association Georgia chapter. And that what, why, and how gave him a lot of clarity, gave him permission. He didn't have to pick music or speaking and running. He said, hey, I'm only doing one thing, helping people go from surviving to thriving. And that's what I want for you. I want you to help identify what's your one thing, even if there are multiple ways that you approach it and that you implement it. So for me, I make sales simple. Why? Because the first time I had a 5-figure month, it was life changing. I was like, man, all I had to do was learn a new skill. And I want to teach other folks not to be killer closers or master manipulators, but I want to help them hear yes more often without sounding salesy. I want you to be your authentic self, just the version that makes more money. And that's why I do what I do. How do I do that? I'm an author, speaker, and getting away from coaching. I still do some consulting, and I love making videos like this because it's an easy way for you to get all the value as quickly and easily as possible. So I hope that helped you. If it did, leave a comment, subscribe, and I look forward to learning more about you on this journey. Cheers to your success.